is a political status. It's not a race. You won't find it on your birth certificate or anything like that. It's a political status in the same way as veteran is a political status. Disabled people, those are all groups that the federal government has set up departments to serve. After the end of slavery, the federal government set up departments to serve, yes, refugees and displaced persons, but also freemen. And only one group was freemen. And it was made very clear because you had white people yelling and screaming and hollering about how it was unfair for the government to do something special for Negroes who were formerly enslaved. And yet, that's exactly what happened. We had the status of freedmen. The department of the government shut down, and then Reconstruction ended. They betrayed us, but the freeman status lives on. And as we see in California, I'm working here with white Republicans in South Carolina. And you know what's funny? I've spoken with black Democrats. I've spoken with white Republicans. Not one of them have ever asked me, who are freemen? Because they all know it refers to black Americans who are descendants of American slaves. They know we're freemen. That's one. Number two, to that guy who said that we need to vote more, I'm so glad Tesla brought that up. Black Americans were the only group that was increasing in our voter turnout for decades, for the past 60 years. The only group that voted more than us were white Americans. And that's not because they care so much more. It's because, one, white Americans are actually given policies for them. They've already had centuries of policies done for them, but they need to vote to keep the wealth that they've gotten. If anything, black Americans, our vote is not. We're not courted for our vote the way we should be. But be that as it may, black Americans, younger and old, have been increasing in voter turnout until the 2016 election. But even with that being said, the Democratic Party only survives because of the black American vote. If we were not voting the way the stereotype likes to carry, there would be no Democratic Party in America. So it's not that we don't vote enough, it's that politicians haven't courted us enough. We have a specific, unique, ugly, brutal history in this nation from chattel slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, land theft, sharecropping, death prison, war on drugs, mass incarceration. I can go on. We have specific things done to us by the government that deprives us of wealth, life, and health. We need specific policies to address that specific wrong that has been done to us. And I really don't have any patience for anyone, especially other black people, other black Americans, who dare try to insinuate that it's because of what we've done wrong that we're in the predicament we're in. There is no group on this planet that has done more right than black Americans. Anything a group can do to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, quote, we've done. We built Black Wall Street after the end of slavery with not a penny, no protection. And we didn't just build one, not two, not three, not four, not five. We built over 50 of them. They were burnt to the ground. And when they weren't burnt, they were flooded. And when they weren't flooded, they had a highway railroad put through them. At 15 years old, the community in where I grew up, where my great grandfather and great grand aunts had all been living, and I was living with my family, you know what they did to get us out of there? They widened the highway. Now that land is worth millions of dollars. I can barely afford to go past there. Okay? I can go on and on and on. But one thing I'm not going to tolerate is anyone trying to say that it's because of some fault of black Americans that we're in the predicament we're in. Only thing I would say is like, and this is why I admire, and I know Tessa don't like me when I do this, but I'm going to do it. This is why, because I realize the importance of what she's doing. It's so important what Tesla is doing. We have to start begging these officials and start organizing to replace these officials. And I'm not just talking about getting some black face in office. We already got a lot of black faces in high places that ain't doing nothing for those other black faces. We need to have a black centric policy, and that means reparations. Miss Alexander, I love Maxine Shaw. You're an icon of the 90s, an icon of my childhood. I just want to say, I know you're doing your reparations tour. I won't be able to make it to all of them, but one thing that needs to be clear, our reparations, our justice is not up for debate. We get direct cash payments. We get the return of our black. That is woefully insufficient. HR 40 does not specify who the when the Japanese reparations, they did not give a check to every Asian in America. They didn't even give a check to every Japanese in America. It went only to the Japanese Americans who were put in the concentration camps. And if they were dead, it went to their surviving spouse or their direct descendants, children or grandchildren. There is no debate about who reparations should go to in the United States of America. It should only go to Black Americans who are descendants of American slaves, not Jamaicans, not Haitians, not even if you've been in this country for multiple generations. It should be direct cash payments. Right now, as we speak, Native Americans are collecting cash. One tribe gets so much cash, they get $1 million per tribal million, not family. Everyone in the tribe gets $1 million cash. One tribe doesn't have to work ever because it gets so much money. People who were exposed to radiation during nuclear testing, they're still getting paid. Holocaust survivors still getting paid. And we still have countries every single day rolling out new provisions for their children. It cannot be one standard for others and then a whole new standard for Black Americans that deprives us of what we're owed. So I hope when you go through these HBCUs, it is made very clear. Reparations is not up for debate. It is for American freemen, Black Americans and still American slaves. It is direct cash payments, and they're going to come with everything else in which we are entitled. And I just want to land there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Boy, you served it hard. I love it. Okay. Thank you. We really appreciate it. And thank you for giving us time to digest and participated. I just got to say, we're going to jump off. I just want to say that I appreciate everybody who supported me as an actress and the things that I've done. I'm learning myself. I'm in this as a storyteller. I'm going to give Whitney a chance to say goodbye too, and Teslin, you'll get the last say. But I just want to say really quickly that we're going to have a virtual town hall debate. If you're in can stomach some more good debate today, it's going to be at 6 p.m. Central Time, and that's going to be the Big Payback Virtual Town Hall and Debate. You can go to uh, Independent Lens and click on the events and get the tickets. Actually, you can go to the bigpaybackmovie.com, bigpaybackmovie.com, and scroll down, and you'll see a link for it for today, and it'll take you to an Eventbrite, and then they'll give you a Zoom link and see you there. Also, we are doing a HBCU tour and debate through the HBCU NC10. They're the most HBCUs in the country. 8 of them are going to participate. So please check the schedule for that. It'll start this week. Actually, Bennett College kicked it off with the great Suzanne Walsh and Bennett Bells. They did a great job, and it's going to go to Shaw and NCCU and all of the HBCUs. So check out the schedule because we're inviting the community to it. And I'll see you there. We'll be on the ground, and I can say hello to you. And Reverend Barbara's going to be at NCCU, and other special guests. Joy Reid, who is one of the executive producers of The Big Payback, has been one of the debate coaches, and they're going to be doing all sorts of interesting ways to have a debate because we were inspired by the James Baldwin William Buckley debate in 1965 at Cambridge, and we want to make this less radioactive. The word reparations, so we thought we'd debate it in institutions um, of higher learning, and then we plan to move that historic tour across America. But we'll need support and amplification. And yeah, so I just want to say thank you for that. Whitney, say goodbye, and then we'll let Ms. Teslin say goodbye and have the last word.
Alice will say goodbye and thank everybody for joining.
Awesome. Ms. Figueroa?
I had my mute off. That was a quick goodbye. But again, thank you so much, Erica and Whitney and fan base, and shout out to Isaac for building this wonderful platform that we can talk about the issues that matter to us among us. And I just want to thank everybody who tapped in and joined in. I think a lot was covered in a very short amount of time. This is such a complex, conversation, and I think a lot was covered and had some healthy, respectful debate. So I certainly appreciate that because I've been a part of rooms where it just goes all the way on another level. So this was a
For
great
sure.
conversation. Right. So I'll just do my little plug at the end. And thank you again, Marcel, for mentioning my Push the Line. I think somebody else came up and said they've attended my Push the Line class, and thank you, Marcel. He's always promoting that, and I always tell him, you don't have to promote it, Marcel. It's fine. But I appreciate that, and that is something, guys, that I do to train folks again how to run for office, how to be an organizer, to work on a campaign. You may not want to run. Maybe you can be a campaign manager. Maybe you can be a field organizer, or maybe you want to be an organizer that just focuses on one issue at a time, reparations being one. I actually just announced my tour as well. If you want to find out those dates, please text Push the Line. That's all one word. Push, PUSH, line, LINE. Push the Line. And as soon as you text all one word, you will get back the dates for the upcoming tour that I'm doing in Houston. As well as Chicago and New York. We only need about 30 people to make the tour possible for each city. And if you are interested in your city being a part of that tour, then we are absolutely trying to get to as many as we can. I know Marcel wants to do one in South Carolina, so just bear with me. I'm a one-woman shop. This is kind of like a project of love, and I want to get out and give people the tools that they need. So if you want to be a part of that, again, text Push the Line, all one word, Push the Line to 66866. And thank you for having me.
66866, you said?
Yes, ma'am. 66866.
Okay. Are you going to come to LA?
Absolutely. LA is absolutely on the and my five cities that follow me the most on my social media is LA, Chicago, New York, Houston, and Atlanta. So we did Atlanta. We had 300 people in Atlanta. LA is absolutely next on the list, but in the next month, starting in June and July, I'm doing Chicago, Houston, and New York, because that's been where we've got the most response. And I've
Hmm.
tried to keep the fee down as minimal as possible. It just covers the facility, the cost for our staff to get there, the course workbook, and what you're getting with that. If you don't mind me just giving a plug, you're getting 5
Please.
courses for that. And so we're doing an 8-hour course, so an in-person course, 8 hours. And then after that, you get 4 additional online courses just for your class so that you can continue to build and grow. And it's directly with me. I'm the senior trainer. Of course, you get a custom Push the Line notebook. And so I'm trying to keep the classes small and intimate, 30 or 40, so that we really can, spend the necessary time. And I'm hoping, Erica, to be able to shadow some folks to actually and look and see, what that looks like. It's nonpartisan. It does not push Democrat or Republican, and it also does not talk about one issue over the other. So, for example, you're not coming there to know how to push reparations. I mean, learning the basic components like team roles, responsibilities, campaign compliance, campaign operations, campaign management, outreach. So you're just getting the basic tools, and then you take that and you go back to your community and you apply it to push reparations or run for office or whatever floats your boat.
That's awesome. Let me know how I can help, and I want to see if I can attend either when you're in New York or LA. I would love it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, I'll see y'all later, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Be well, and thank you for caring. Bye. Thank you,
All right.
Tiffis. Bye, Mr.
Bye
Ali.
bye.
Take care,
Take care,
Desmond.
y'all.
We'll talk.